Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Brandon Keith Avery, and I want to welcome you to Just My Opinion, where today you will get my review / opinion on Sanaa Lathan's, Morris Chestnut's, and Michael Ealy's The Perfect Guy. Stay tuned. Now, walking into The Perfect Guy, I had a lot of fear in my heart. I didn't know if we were going to get the same typical old dried up cliche movie that we've all come to know. Now, it does have a lot of those cliches in it, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't have its redeeming qualities either. This movie is directed by David M. Rosenthal. I looked up his filmography online, and there's not too many films that come to mind when I saw that list. Now, easily by far from a mile, the best parts of this film belong to the characters, especially Michael Ealy. I've never seen him play a role like this before, and just shows how talented he really is. Sanaa Lathan always does a good job in everything she is. She's one of my favorite actresses, and I can say the exact same thing for Morris Chestnut. Going into the beginning of this film, as you see in all the trailers, they're just a normal couple, seeming as happy as can be. But as time goes along, you see that Leah wants a little bit more out of the situation. She wants to get married, she wants to have kids, she wants to take their relationship to the next level, and Morris Chestnut's character is just not on that page yet. I mean, he's a good mentor, and it looks like he's giving everything that she needs, but he's just not ready to take that leap. And that's just a little bit too long for Miss Leah. So she just decides to pack her bags and be like, look, dude, I'm tired of waiting on you. It's time to move on. So then we meet the title of character, Mr. Ealy, the perfect guy. And yes, he does seem perfect off top, but he isn't. He is a complete psychotic, idiotic, crazy man. So while the character steals the show in the film, the story and the direction isn't that great. What took me out of the film, if you were to divide this into 3 acts, like majority of the films, the first act is horrible. It was very uncomfortable. I was turning in my seat trying to find comfort. The transitioning between scenes was horrific. I mean, it was like the wind was taking out of me, or I was getting punched in the chest. It did the tone and the flow of the whole film just was not there at all. Even when Leah's character was at a cafe trying to have a coffee with her friends, every time they did that, all the scenes just didn't feel genuine. They didn't feel real. I mean, it was awkward dialogue and forced exposition just to tell you the story. I mean, I don't know, the director here, Mr. Rosenthal, it's like he forgot the basic part of filmmaking, and that is, it's better to show and not tell. But all we did was get a bunch of this right here to try to help the story along, and all it did was cripple it. Now, going into the second act, things picked up a lot better. Things got really, really good when Carter's character, played by Michael Ealy, went crazy and snapped for no apparent reason. That's where things started to go up in the film and start getting better, better, and better, and better. I've never seen Michael Ealy play a role like this before, and it was a breath of fresh air. I mean, he was really, really scary. So now what I didn't like about the film was the story. It already had a rocky start, and then when things got going, it really got going. But for some reason, the writer and director decided to take a turn in the plot for no apparent reason. It did nothing for the story, it dropped it down, and it really just wiped my whole mood out. I don't know why they decided to go this way, but I can honestly say it's nothing that the average moviegoer wants to go to the theater and see. I won't spoil that for you here, of course. This is just something that you're going to have to witness on your own. Now, the film is full of cliches that I'm really tired of seeing. The old walking in an empty garage with only 2 cars there, or the nosy neighbor, or the missing cat is getting really old now. It didn't ruin the film, but it did stand out like a sore thumb. But those are the bad parts of the film as far as the story. The good parts goes back into Michael Ealy's character. I mean, this guy knows the law better than his own birthday. He's very intelligent, and he uses all that to advantage. I mean, he knows every trick of the trade to get around where he wants to go like a snake in the grass. I mean, nothing is slipping through this guy's fingers, just like he's a professional crazy man. And that's what makes the movie much better. It makes me start thinking about my own life. It makes me want to set up my own personal security. And you can probably already assume this. This is a type of film that is actually supposed to have you engaged and have you yelling at the screen, and is putting you right in the middle of the victim's perspective. And it does that. It makes you scream in a good way and a bad. And in a bad way, I mean, if somebody has a gun pointed and the guy is trying to kill you, shoot him. Don't just sit there and have 10 minutes of dialogue. I mean, he's done things over and over and over again to put you in a dangerous state, and you have the perfect opportunity to end the day, and you need to do that. If you don't do it, then that clocks everyone out. And if it isn't done for another reason, that just goes to bad writing. Now, easily the best parts of the film are portrayed by the characters. Morris Chestnut, Sanaa Lathan, and Michael Ealy all did a phenomenal job. I even want to give credit to the Detective Hansen, a policeman in this movie that played an important role as well. I walked out the theater nodding my head, wanting to give him my seal of approval. Overall, I thought the movie was just okay. It could have been a lot better than what it was. The performances from all the three main actors and actresses were great, but the story and some of the decisions they made were very poor and took me out of the film. If I had to rate this film out of a 1 out of 10, I would probably give it a 6, which is okay. But that's just my opinion, guys. Just because I didn't care for it too much doesn't mean that you will. So go ahead, comment below and what you think. Let me know your opinion because you just heard mine. Go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can get the rest of the content I have to provide. Go ahead and give me that thumbs up. And thanks for tuning in, guys. And before you go, my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.